Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm going to be addressing a question that was submitted by one of my viewers. My apologies for any noise in the background. It is torrential rainfall right now. Not really, but it's a heavy rainfall and it's thundering out there. So bear with me just a moment. If you hear that sound in the background, there is nothing I can do about it, okay? Anyway, I'm going to be dealing with a question that was presented to me by one of my viewers, and they asked, is Yah doing this to black men? Now, the question was in regards to the statistics showing drug overdoses in the black community increasing, especially among black men. Now, I'm not going to specifically be dealing with the increasing statistics of drug overdoses. I'm going to deal with a lot more than just that, because the question is Yah doing this? That's the portion I really want to deal with. Anyone who follows this channel, they know that we are believers and that the Most High, our Creator, He knows fully what's going on this planet. Nothing gets by Him. There is nothing that is happening that He is not fully aware of. Okay? I'm not sure if the person who asked the question, I'm not sure if they really want to know the answer to this, or if this was just something that they had on their mind they wanted to present to me and see what I had to say about it. I'm not sure what their angle was on this, but I'm not going to deal with the drug statistic thing alone. I want to deal with anything that happens in our lives. And basically, anyone who follows our ministry at all knows what we believe, for the most part, is that there are no chance happenings on this planet. There's no oops moments with our Creator. The Creator of heaven and earth, the Creator of you and I, He is fully aware of everything. He knows our end before the beginning. Our lives have already been written. We are just on a timeline existing right now. Okay? And so anything that happens in the black community, whether it's to women or children or our men, is something that is fully known by the Creator. Now, as to say if He is necessarily doing this, this is the part that I want to deal with. The Most High, our Creator, He has set forth decrees in the earth, right? There's a law of reaping and sowing. A law of reaping and sowing. And the decrees that He has set forth in the earth fully tells us what to expect if you do certain things. They tell us what to expect if you don't do certain things. Yah's decrees are set in stone pretty much. In other words, His word have gone forth out of His mouth, and it shall not return void. And so if He told us don't do certain things or else this would happen, essentially, He's basically put the ball in our court. This is why the scripture says, choose ye this day whom you will serve. And so with His decrees set in place, even though He knows the end from the beginning, if I can just clarify this for those of you who are listening, even though He knows the end from the beginning, meaning He already knows our actions, He says, I know your thoughts are far off. He tells us He knows our thoughts are far off. He wouldn't be the Almighty if He didn't know all of this. But His decrees were set like this. He says, look, I set forth this decree. I already told you what the outcome would be if you do this. But you did it anyway. You didn't take me at my word. You didn't trust and believe that I was going to carry out what I said I was going to carry out. And so when man or woman, young or old, does that, the consequences of their actions is on their own head. Their blood is on their own hands. So when you ask, is Yah doing this? It's kind of like a yes and a no. He knows of it. but he simply allows it based on a person's actions. So those statistics, whether they are drug statistics, whether they are disease statistics, health statistics, or any of that, because he's already outlined in his decree what the punishment, the wages of sin is going to be, because he's already outlined this, you can say that it's on us when we choose to go in the opposite direction of where he has directed us. You see, there are so many decrees throughout Scripture telling us what to eat, what not to eat. And a lot of people have chosen to ignore these things. There are things telling us how to live, how to treat one another, how to deal with one another. All of this stuff is outlined very clearly in the Bible. But so many have chosen not to listen. So many have chosen to go their own way and to do their own thing. And when you look at it from that perspective, you can then realize and understand that these things happen to us at our own hands, in a sense, because there would be no drug overdoses if there were no drug users. Now, of course, we can whine and complain about how the drugs get to where they are in the first place. But ultimately, if someone isn't spiking your drink or forcing you to take a drug, then it falls on you. If someone isn't shoving it down your throat, it falls on you. The same with alcohol abuse, food addictions, all kinds of things. If someone isn't making you do that, you can say all day, well, let's just talk about food addiction for a minute. You can sit here and say all day, well, this is the kind of food they make. This is what they sell. This is what is produced. This is what's out here. In my opinion, it still falls on you, because we have choices and options. People have choices and options. And a lot of people will argue you up and down. My apologies for that, family. They will argue you up and down and say that they can't do this, they can't do that, they can't grow their own food. They will give all the excuses and the reasons. Or they can't afford healthy food. Every excuse will be thrown out there. But then you say to yourself, it's actually more expensive to try to cure yourself after your body has been broken up. It's more expensive to die than it is to try to live right now. You see? And so when a person makes such an excuse, especially with all the options that have been thrown out there by so many people, community gardens, establishing your own community gardens. We've talked about parcels of land that people can buy for $100 and, just do what they have to do. Even people who are on government assistance, they are able to get seeds or buy seeds with their government assistance. So excuses are not going to heal your body when this food has broken you down. Food is just one of the easiest examples that we can use as an addiction that a lot of people have. And to ask the question again, based on food, is Yah doing this to black people? No. Again, there was a decree set forth already telling us what to eat, what to drink, how to live. It was already a decree telling us if we don't eat or drink these things, or if we eat or drink the wrong things, there was a decree set of what would happen to us, what would happen to our bodies. So basically, we are without excuse. Is Yah doing this to people? Not directly. I would say directly, people are doing it to themselves. And now, of course, the question was presented based on black men and drug overdoses. But when you look at people, period, not just black men or black people, but people, period, of every race, anything that happens in a person's life, it boils down to a choice that they made. It boils down to a choice that they made. If you look far enough back in a person's life, you will say, man, that decree or that law of reaping what you sow is the reason why this person is going through this right here. When people go through certain things in their lives, you will see, if you look close enough, that they may have done something that was a direct result in them reaping what they sowed in a certain case or in a certain situation. I hope that this shines some light on what I believe about this. I believe that people that are out here overdosing on drugs, even though the statistics was asked about black men and if Yah is doing this to them, regardless of what a person's color or race is, I feel like if a person is out here overdosing on drugs, period, they are doing it to themselves, and the Most High Yah, our Creator, is allowing it. He told us the wages of sin is death and that you reap what you sow. So the ball is in your court. If you go down the wrong path, the stumbling blocks have already been set and laid, and they are waiting for you. Anyway, I am done with this video. In the comment section below, remember to keep it tight and keep it right, but until next time. Be sure to ring the bell to be notified of new uploads on this channel, and also comment, share, like, and subscribe.